We'll call this hearing to order on the President's fiscal year 2015 budget for tribal programs. I want to welcome the two witnesses for this panel and the witnesses for the next panel too. We will be holding this Oversight Committee. There's votes going on the floor right now. I honestly don't know how that's going to impact the membership attending this hearing, but we will have some questions as we move forward. Now, the President's overall request for Indian Affairs of the Department of Interior is $2.6 billion, an increase of $33.6 million over fiscal year 2014, and the Indian Health Service budget was increased by $199 million to $4.6 billion. Although these proposed increases are encouraging, we must also acknowledge that these are harsh financial times. Tribes have not recovered from sequestration, which resulted in across-the-board cuts to all federal programs, including those affecting tribes, and nowhere was this more devastating than in the Indian Health Service, where due to sequestration, continuing resolutions, and a 16-day government shutdown, Indian health care to Indian people was jeopardized. That's why today and next week the committee is going to talk about securing advanced appropriations for the Indian Health Service. The delivery of health care to Indian people should not be threatened because those of us who serve in Washington cannot get our act together and prepare and pass a budget. There is a bill now pending in committee, S-1570, that would provide advanced funding for the Indian Health Service. This bill is tailored after a bill that Congress enacted to advance funding for the Veterans Administration system in 2009, and I look forward to working with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle and the administration on making this initiative a reality. Despite the budgetary constraints that we face, there are some positive highlights in the President's fiscal year 2015 budget request. The committee is pleased that the administration finally understands the legal obligation to fully fund contract support costs for both Indian Health Service and the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and I'm particularly encouraged by the $11 million increase for social services and job training to support an initiative to provide a comprehensive and integrated approach to address violence, poverty, and substance abuse in Indian country. As we learned from Dr. Costello, who testified at our early childhood development hearing last month, we can either pay now or we pay later, but we're going to pay. And I think it is much wiser to invest in preventative services today than pay for a lifetime of treatment and remedial assistance later. However, there are some areas that may not be receiving the attention they deserve. For tribal communities to thrive now and into the future, there must be economic development opportunities and an educated workforce. My colleagues and I have heard in numerous committee meetings of the poor conditions at many of the BIE schools. Yet again, the BIA has only requested enough funding to do the site development to construct one of the 3 schools that remain on the 2004 school construction list. In addition to that list, there's another 60 schools that are considered in poor condition. And finally, I'm very concerned with the administration's request for drinking water and sanitation construction. There is more than a $3 billion backlog in drinking water and sanitation construction needs in Indian country. However, across all federal agencies, including the EPA, the administration is only requesting $173 million to address drinking water and sanitation needs in Indian country.